Hello everyone, this is James.
And I'm Jen, and we're from Living Gardens Homestead. Today is January the 29th. It's on a Sunday. And some of our subscribers, we've been getting really good feedback, and we want to appreciate everyone that watches our videos and subscribes. But me and James, we want to talk to you guys about something.
First of all, I put out a video earlier about the chicken uh, egg place catching on fire and burning down, and how it probably caused a shortage and probably caused the egg prices to go up even higher. But you know, our subscribers help us out a lot. Believe it or not, you people who watch our videos and you make your comments, it really helps us a lot in being able to give feedback. And today we'd like to uh, thank some subscribers to our channel for sending us some information that I'd like to share with everyone else. And we'd talked with them, and they said it was all right to use what they sent us. And Jen can let you know.
It's Kenneth and Cindy, and
Hi, Kenneth. Hi, Cindy.
they uh, they give us some really good feedback, and we really appreciate the stuff that the feedback that they give us and the articles and stuff that they send us. I mean, it's really knowledgeable. But thank you guys.
But we're going to try. Now, I'm not good at editing these videos, so I'm going to try to put a picture on this video that you all can look at. And it's the way our government used to be. It's the way things used to be, that was far different than the way they are today. And people were different back then than they are today. Our country's changing, and I don't think it's changing for the better. But what I'd like to get at is, a lot of people uh, they moved to the cities. Used to be everybody lived out into the farmland, and during the Great Depression, a lot of people made it because they raised gardens and stuff at their homes, which helped them to get through the Depression. Now, if we go through another one now, I'm afraid this country's in bad shape, because most people have moved into these cities. And, in the cities, if you live in an apartment building, about the only thing you have to grow anything on would be your terrace or balcony. And you can't grow a whole lot of food there. You can grow some, and I'm not telling anybody not to, but if I lived in an apartment, I would grow food on that balcony as best as I could. But our government, I believe, is, and if you watch some of these other videos, they talk about the 15-minute cities and this, that, and the other. I think they're trying to corral us in like a bunch of cattle. And if they can get you into these cities, and that makes you more dependent upon them for your food, because it's got to be shipped in. You don't have a garden in an apartment building unless the landlord lets you grow one on the roof. But I think they're trying to corral us into these cities so they got more control, and they know more about your movements and what you're doing. Now, the way the old timers did it, they'd have a farm, or at least a small place. And I'm telling you right now, if you live, let's say, on the outskirts of the city, to where you've got a little backyard, people, as long as the laws say you can't have it, you could raise you enough chickens in your backyard to give you eggs and to give you meat. And we're going to have to go back to these days. Now, I don't know what do you got to say about it, Jen?
Well, I know, just like where my niece lives, they say that they're not allowed to have any crowing or anything like that. Well, you don't have to have a rooster to have eggs. All you have to have is a hen. And that hen will lay, enough eggs, hopefully, that will help you with doing something, whether it's baking a cake or whatever. But it will give you some nutritional value. But you know, you don't, like I said, you don't have to have a rooster to have eggs. The only thing a rooster does is fertilize those eggs, and a hen don't crow. She may cluck when she lays an egg, but she's not going to crow. So you know, there's ways of, you know, getting around, you know, being able to have chickens and hens, and they don't take a lot of space. They don't take a lot of food. They can eat the scraps off your table. I mean, it's just, you know, people are going to have to start supplying themselves with food the best they can.
Now this picture that they sent in to us, I'm telling you, even the government suggested that everybody had backyard chickens. And what was it? Two chickens to a person?
Two chickens to a person.
2 hens would give you enough eggs to survive on.
And another thing, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
And another thing too that they had mentioned on there, and it is so true. If even a small child, if they have any kind of responsibility about them, they can even raise a chicken or hen. There's really nothing to it. Nothing.
The chickens do most of the work. And, you know, I've always, my whole family, all the way back that I can remember, they always, it's like the homestead always had chickens on it. Mm-hmm. Now, not everybody had a milk cow, but a few people did. And, you know, if they needed eggs, those people with the cow would go get eggs from the people who had the chickens. The people who had the chickens, if they needed milk, they'd go to the person who had the milk cow. They'd trade. That's another thing. You need to get out here and talk to some of your people around close, the farmers and stuff. Get to know them. And maybe you can barter and trade if times get bad. I'm telling you people, times are going to get bad here in a little bit. To me, you know, I have my love for Christ, my love for the Lord, okay? But I don't think he wants me to go out here and force people to go to church.
No.
Okay? You won't see me out here forcing somebody to go to church. You won't see me out here trying to pass a law that's going to make people have to go to church. Just because I believe something doesn't mean I should force it upon somebody else. That's what's going on right now. These people that are high up enough with enough money that they're trying to force us to do what they believe. Okay? Now their beliefs could be from the heart, but their beliefs could be also from their wallet. They could be wanting to do this just to make money off of it. But you that have common sense, we know that the solar panels are not going to work to supply us. We know windmills are not going to work to supply us. We know out west that the dams that they use for hydropower don't work because we even run out of water sometimes to run those. People, God gave us everything here on earth to use, including coal and gas. He gave that to us so we could use it. I don't mean to go in that direction, but anyway, these people, I believe, are trying to force their beliefs on us. We've seen these places burning down for food sources, meat processing plants, chicken plants. You know, if I didn't know no better, and it wasn't just a natural thing happening, and if somebody was doing it, if I didn't know no better, I would almost say that it's the vegans are the ones doing this to keep us from eating meat. Honestly, they are some people out there that because they don't believe in eating meat, they don't want none of us to. They're trying to force their beliefs on us. Now, I like all my viewers. I love seeing your comments and stuff. I know this video, I know you're going to have to comment on it. And someplace in this video, I'm hoping to put the picture up that
Kenneth and Cindy.
Yeah, that Kenneth and Cindy sent us so that you can see it for yourself. The government encouraged us to have backyard chickens. Why are they not encouraging that now? Why are they encouraging this 15-minute cities and stuff like that?
Well, I'm going to say this too. My mother always told me growing up, she used to say, Jen, God gives everybody common sense. I love my mother, and I would never question her, but I'm going to have to say, I honestly do think she was wrong on that, because I see a lot of people nowadays that does not have common sense, and that is really worrisome too. And I'm not meaning to jump the subject, but as far as getting food prepared, I'm going to tell you what happened here to us just a couple nights ago. We've got a lot of deer here where we live, and they run across the road, run across our yard. I mean, they're everywhere. Okay, there was a guy hit a deer out here right in front of our yard, and anyway, he didn't want it. The cops just more or less was going to let it lay and rot in our field out there next to the garden. So they gave it to us, and as you're probably seeing the fingers, my delishness. But anyway, me and James, we have processed that deer, and we have
Waste not, want not.
and we have ground it up. I mean, I've cut up some of the prettiest tenderloins, and me and James, we've grounded hamburger meat, and I mean, to me, just like if you see a deer hit, if you're out here in the country and you see these deers hit, and they're going to lay there and do nothing but rot, and like I said, if you see them hit and know they are a fresh kill, call your local sheriff's department or somewhere and ask them if you can have that deer. And I'm telling you, I mean, God provides. God provides. We've had everything in our freezer, from pork to beef to chicken. The only thing that we did not have in our freezer was deer. And do you know what?
Because I don't really hunt that much anymore.
No, James don't. And but God provides. God provides. He put venison in our freezer. I mean, it might have took some work on our part and some cut fingers, but God, I think if each and every one of us make an effort, and we try, I believe that God will help us, and God will supply us with what we need. That's the way I believe.
Yeah, me too. But that's just like storing up your pantry. People, you need to, if you can buy extra and store it up and have it put back, it's a good thing. You never know what's going to happen. Okay, anything could happen. Any kind of a disaster. The economy could collapse. We don't know what might happen in the future. But if it does happen, your pantry is going to give you some time that you won't have to starve. Okay?
Absolutely.
But here's the thing that people don't tell you about a pantry. They may have a pantry that's good for a year, 6 months, whatever. But if they went to the store, they bought all this, and they put it into the pantry, and I'm not saying don't do it, I'm saying do it, because that will give you time to try to figure out what to do. But the stuff from the store, if we don't get it anymore, or we've got no money anymore, when that runs out, you can't get any more. Think about a garden. You can replenish your pantry if you learn how to can, learn how to raise a garden, and you put your food up. You can continuously, year after year, supply yourself with your food that way. Same way with your chickens. If you've got chickens, then you'll have your eggs and stuff. The store, this egg prices, the chicken and stuff like that, it really is not affecting us right now because we've got chickens. And you never notice it because you've got eggs every day.
And people, too, don't forget to rotate your stock.
Yeah. And
don't forget to check on your flour, your meal, your rice, and stuff like that, because, I don't care if you do put it in the freezer. I checked on some of my flour the other day in my meal, and I had put it in the freezer for like almost 2 weeks, and I got it out and I put it in containers, and luckily I have got some big containers, 5-gallon containers, that I store my rice and my pinto beans and stuff, but my flour and my meal, I store it in smaller containers just in case something happens. And I did open up some of my cornmeal the other day, and sure enough, there was little bugs in it. So, I just, it goes to the hog, or the hog when we had the hog. But there's something else I want to say. When I was growing up, my dad was born in 1919. He was a sergeant in World War II. And ever since I can ever remember, he grew up, I know James has told you all the story before, that he grew up eating nothing but Cushaw. And didn't even know what a biscuit was till he was a teenager. But anyway, when I was growing up, ever since I could ever remember, we would kill 50, 75 chickens, maybe even more. Like within like a day or 2 days. And I remember that we would put them up. We would kill 2 and 3 hogs every fall. We would put them up. We would do anything and everything to get stocked. We canned everything we could can. We wasted nothing. Nothing. And even to this day, if I fix chili, if I fix pintos, if I fix beef stew, I don't care what I fix. If I have any left over, I will put it in gallon freezer bags, and I'll lay it flat, and I'll freeze it, and chili, whatever. And I guarantee you though, anytime we want something, I've already got it fixed in the freezer. And that really helps us. And I'm gonna tell you too, it helps you from going to the store.
Yeah, you spend a whole lot less money at the store
really
when you put your own food back.
Because you can cook in bulk a lot cheaper than what you can to just fix a little bit.
Yes. But anyway, I wanted to let you viewers know something else too. Jen here, believe it or not, has done more gardening when she was younger than I have. When I met Jen, she was already gardening. I started gardening after I met Jen. That's one you all didn't know.
Believe it
I learned a lot of my stuff from Jen.
Believe it or not, when I was 3 years old, my daddy had took a hoe, and he had cut it down. And he had took and had filed around that hoe. And anyway, he made it to where it would fit a 3-year-old child. Small enough to where I could handle it good. And he showed me how to hoe a garden the proper way. And and he taught me how to be so careful with all this. And I'm gonna tell you something, and he always told me, I could remember I would cry and didn't want to go out there and work in the garden. I'm talking about a 3-year-old child. And he'd say, you know what? This will keep you from starving one day. I'm teaching you what I know. So that way you will always be able to eat. And my mother, when it came time to can, had me right in the kitchen in a chair showing me how to do everything that needed to be done. And do you know what? And James, bless his heart, he works hard. He really does. He works hard in the greenhouse. He works hard in the garden. But I'm going to tell you something. It makes it a lot easier when you have got 2 people, and just like our son Jamie. I don't know what we'd do without him. He helps us a great deal. He really does. With a lot of the blunt and brute work, he really does. But I just, lots of times it takes people to pull together in order to make it during these rough times.
And if you'll notice, back in the past, people did pull together. People helped one another. You don't see that today. You don't see people today helping one another. Back then, I'm sure you've heard of it, and the Amish, I think, still do it. A barn building. Everybody around the neighborhood or wherever would get pitched together and help put a barn up in a day. Why a barn? Why didn't they say house? Put a house up in a day. Because barns were so important. The only way you could eat, you had to have your barn. You had to have your garden. If you lived in a tent, you could still eat.
That's true.
That's the reason the barn was so important to them back then. And I tell you, we got some good viewers on this channel. They some people on here.
Yes, we
they really seem to have some good sense about them. And just like her dad, he was born in 1919. When was the Depression? The late 20s, early 30s. He lived through it. And once he lived through that kind of a situation, when he got older and he had kids and a family, he knew to do it because it could have happened again, and he knows that. And still, people, it could happen today. Luckily, it never happened again for him.
But the old saying goes, history repeats itself.
Yes, it does.
History, even the clothing style, hairstyle. If you've noticed, everything will repeat itself. You hang on to something long enough, it'll come in back into fashion. And I'm going to tell you something. Some of my fondest memories when I was growing up was my mom. Just like if we was canning green beans at our house. I mean, Dad and my uncles would go out and they'd pick all of our green beans, and my mom and my aunts and them. I'd be playing with my cousins. When I was taking breaks. But we would all get together and we would string and break green beans, and all the women would get in there and they'd can at our house. Then we'd go to my aunt's house and we'd do their place the same way. And I mean, that's the way they done. And just like sauerkraut, I can remember having Mom and him having big old huge wash tubs. And I can remember them having the big open cutters on their slaw cutter. And I can remember them, cutting just big old huge wash tubs of cabbage. And one thing I can remember very plainly too, of being disobedient and not minding, was my mom. I was outside playing with my cousin Ken, and Mommy and him said, "Do not touch this. We're going to go in the house to get something to drink. Do not touch that." And sure enough, I got me a piece of cabbage and I went like this, and I mean, I just sliced my hand completely open. And you know what? Disobedient. That's where it got me. But do you know what though? I mean, we had so much fun. Canning was fun back then.
Not only that, but I can remember down there at my grandma and grandpa's that in the fall of the year, they'd get out and take them a big bed sheet, put it out on the ground around the apple tree.
Mm-hmm.
They would take and shake them limbs in that apple tree and let all the apples fall down on that sheet. Then the next thing you know, they're out on the front porch, all of them, sitting there peeling apples to make apple butter, apple sauce, canned apples for pies. People, we may have to do that again today. I mean, it's getting bad.
Big open copper kettle over a fire, keeping it stocked, just stirring it all day long for apple butter. And was not it absolutely delicious?
Yes, it was.
You can't find things like that in the store. You really can't.
We've got one of Grandma's big copper kettles. It's huge, and if you'd go buy that at the store, I'd hate to think how many hundreds of dollars it would cost to get
Probably
that.
thousands.
Which they probably don't even make it out of copper anymore. My grandma's, was it his brother, Levi? Was that my mom's brother?
No, honey. Levi was my great-grandpa.
Well, I know that.
Or my great-great-grandpa.
But anyway, Levi is the one that made this copper kettle for her.
My great-grandpa, Levi Rakes, he lived down next to where James's family lived. The Farleys and the Sheldons. And anyway, they was all friends because, like I said, back then everybody pulled together to help everybody. And he was a blacksmith. He was one of the first men to make the first mountain rifle. And but anyway,
He did. He used to make his guns. That's what we was told.
used to make silver dollars.
Yeah, illegal silver dollars. The federal men come in there, they say, now I don't know if it's rumor or if it's true, but they come in there wanting to know how he made it. And his reply was to him, he took a horseshoe, he took a horseshoe, put it in the fire, brought it out, hammered it up, and made it straight again, and looked at him and says, "That'll be $1. That's how I make my money." And they said he had some molds, and he would get on the train and ride to, I think, Huntington or someplace, and he'd pick up bars of silver, and he'd bring them back, and he'd melt them down and pour them in them molds and make silver dollars.
And he supposedly has the plates hid over, now this is, I guess, probably back in the 1800s, probably early 1800s, I'm not for sure. But they say that he's got the plates hid in a cave or something other over there, and they've never been found, and a lot of people have searched for those silver
Either they
plates.
don't exist, and it was all a big tale, or they're still out there.
Well, I don't think it's a tale, because if I'm not badly mistaken,
they say he was a good blacksmith.
they said that, as far as I know, my grandpa had one of his silver dollars, and when he passed away, I don't know what happened
But
to it.
anyway, we've got one of the big copper tubs that he made for Grandma, and it's got a big steel handle on it, and the whole tub's made out of copper. So, you know,
It's not small.
no, it's not. But anyway, you know, we're just trying to get it across to everyone that watches their channel or watches this video. Please, please stock your cupboards. Stock your. Oh, today's hasn't been a real good day for me to recall words. Your pantry. Stock your pantry. Get it ready. That way, if something bad does come, you get laid off, don't have a job, can't get another job, unemployment runs out. You know, things like that can happen, that you can survive for a while by eating. But not only that, focus on growing a garden. Focus on having backyard chickens. That way you got eggs and meat. Because them replaces themselves. If you go to the store and buy it and put it in your cup, your pantry, you know, you're going to eat that. But if you can't get the money to buy any more of it, you're going to run out. Mm-hmm. So start getting things, growing a garden and getting chickens so that you don't run out. The federal government, and if I can get it on here, I'm going to put a picture he sent me. The federal government back then said every home should have a backyard chicken.
2 chickens per person.
2 chickens per person. So I want to put that on here. It may be wherever I can get it in the video. It may be the last of the video. Wherever I can get it in there. Like I said, I can't do this too well, but I'm going to try. Because it's a good article and I like it. And thank you all for sending it to us. Anyway, you got anything else to say, Jen?
I just want to thank each and every one of you guys that watch our videos, that like, subscribe, share, comments. And I'll tell you, we really, really enjoyed your comments. We've got people from all over the world. I mean, everywhere from Ireland to New Zealand to Greenland. I mean, just everywhere.
We enjoy reading it.
And it's Germany. I mean, everywhere. And I mean, we really, really enjoy the comments. We really enjoy you talking about the way you were raised and the environment and what you're going through. I mean, we really, really enjoy reading everybody's comments. And you know what? I'm going to tell you all something too. I don't know whether people believe in God or not. A lot of people do or not. But I'm going to tell you, we really need to keep one another in one another's prayers. We really do. Because, I mean, you know, whether or not it may be over the food shortage, you know, there's a lot of people that's got, you know, bad health. They're having a really hard financial time. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff going on right now, and there's a lot of sickness abound everywhere. And I know me and James could always use your prayers. Our family could.
Yes.
And right now we've got a grandbaby sick. She's pretty sick. But anyway.
But you know, we put these videos on to try to help people learn what we've learned over our lifetime. And you know, when you got questions, or if you watch our video and you've got a question, I think I've got it in the right place, but there's an email on our main page thing that you can send us an email of a question if you have it. But yeah, we really enjoy you all. No.
But anyway, listen, we really appreciate you guys, and I think it's probably about time we go to wrapping this up.
Oh, and we got more videos to give you. We got all this hog meat coming back. I want to do a video on that.
And out of all the excitement, we are getting 3 nanny goats Friday and a baby. And we are so excited. And the grandkids, man, they are totally hysterical.
I love milk. I drink a lot of milk.
We're getting these goats.
And she uses a lot of butter. And and hopefully we've found a solution to that.
Which is a lot of butter. More butter than we need.
We've had goats before, and we've milked our goats before. And the milk is good if you get the right goat.
We're getting Nigerian dwarfs.
Yeah, Nigerian dwarfs. It's got a lot of cream in that milk. And it's sweet.
So.
But anyway, if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. That way you can catch our next videos when we put them out. We hope we can learn how to do this editing better. Give us a like.
Subscribe and share. And I'll just be truthful with you about it. I'm not a camera person too much. I just don't like putting myself out there. But anyway, I really appreciate each and every one of you guys.
So you all be good, take care of yourselves, and learn to garden, learn chickens. And from all of us here at Living Gardens Homestead, until the next video, goodbye. I'm James.
And I'm Jen.
And we'll see you all later.